Hi, this is Travis with Comics Limited. I just wanted to share with you guys well, not an unboxing, but a mail call that I've got, and this has already been unboxed. So this is just a bunch of different stuff from a bunch of different people, namely West Coast Avengers, Keys Are Us on Instagram, SJ Collectibles on Whatnot, and Gotham Thrifty on Whatnot. So here we go. This is going to be a mail call. You guys are just going to see the books. I've already done the unboxing because, wow, I mean, it was crazy. Oh, yeah, and also some Ripaverse things that I got as well. So let's get to it. First off, I'm going to start with Keys Are Us. Here are the freebies that get sent me. It's a group of Avengers books. They're fine to very fine. I mean, they're all probably, fine to very fine condition. And they're, not books that are like, oh, I must have these books. But it's pretty cool. I mean, to get a bunch of freebies, which then I'm going to probably collect together with some other Avengers books I have, and I'm going to put them in part of a dollar train, like a 10 book or 20 book dollar train, or a box for $1, and just see what happens with that. Because they were freebies to me, but some of it's really cool, some of it's interesting. There's a John Byrne in here. There's some George Perez and Busek. Right there's that one right there. Here's the John Byrne. And then on top of it, there was a Defenders issue, which is an Eric Larson Defenders issue with Busek. And then a Marv Wolfman Deathstroke. It's the part 2 of the Titans Sell Out. Anyway, so that was the freebie. Those were the freebies from him. I'm going to grab those. Let's put those off to the side. I almost kind of should just pull a short box out to put this stuff all away because it's that much. I got a couple of these for a great price. 2 of those. Awesome. Because, I draw, I sketch, do covers. Next was some books I picked up just randomly too as well. I'm collecting G.I. Joe. It's kind of the thing that I'm doing this year. It's one of those. So I'm picking up certain things for G.I. Joe. I'm not collecting I'm collecting kind of everything G.I. Joe. So not toys. I mean, the toys are cool, but comics. So here we go. This is the exclusive reprint of the Snake Eyes Origin. Then you have issues 1 and 2 of the first Image G.I. Joe versus Transformers. There's issue 1. And issue 2, which I believe this is the issue where Soundwave dies. At least that's what she said. Now, I could be wrong. That's what my daughter said to me. Then, I love me some Neil Adams, and I'm really big on this continuity comics thing. I have a couple other issues of this. When I can get them for, dirt cheap, I'll pick them up. Here's one. This is issue 4 of Continuity Comics, The Rise of Magic. I think that's what it says. Yes, that is magic. Possesses Megalith. Then this is an early Gorilla Grodd issue. Action Comics. And this is issue 13 of The Demon. It's got a couple tape pulls on it, but I think I got it for super cheap. So that's really cool. Go ahead and pull those down. Move on to the next group. Because, oh my gosh. Look, I can't even show you the pile that's right here. It's this pile so big. And then I picked up some Batman. Also, Batman is another one of those ones that I'm always trying to collect. I'm collecting, but not collecting, not telling. It's not like my goal to get Batman, but whenever I can get it for a good price. Here's a DC Universe Batman 522. A Batman 641, and I think that cover looks an awful lot like the artist who did the Batman stuff from Batman the Animated Series. And I'll remember his name eventually. And if I don't, maybe I'll throw an edit up, like I'll throw a screen up here somewhere, probably over here. It says, and it'll pause and it'll say blah 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 blah. Will be the name, as I edit it in. Anyway, the Loot Crate version of Batman issue 36 Endgame, and you'll see that I got a regular version of that coming up. And then let's move on to some Marvel stuff. Here we go. We've got a Marvel Kazar the Savage #1. It's a beautiful cover by Brent Eric Anderson. Art, I love his art. And then going along the line of Kazar, I got some X-Men. And I am collecting a run of classic X-Men. So I'm building a run of classic X-Men. Here's issue 12. And issue 30, when they were still called Classic X-Men. And then issue 74, which is an Adam Hughes cover. Early Adam Hughes cover, actually, I think. Kind of like around the era of his DC work of Classic X-Men. Storm cover, of course. Beautiful Storm cover. But Adam Hughes. So, very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pile. Now we're going to do some Captain America. I might have to do this one in 2 different piles because it's big. It's big! Alright. A lot of Mike Zeck today. That's going to be fun. Here's some Kirby, though. We're going to go with King Size Annual #4. It's a Kirby cover. Has Magneto on it. Here is issue 138. It's a Falcon, early Falcon, and it's Spider-Man versus Captain America and Falcon. Here is another one. I believe this. Yeah, this is. I think this is still. This is Buscema. That's another Captain America and Falcon. Here is after Kirby came back to Captain America issue. This one is an Ernie Chan cover. I'm not sure if he did the art on the inside, but it's Captain America versus Lincoln. Which I think is getting close to the end of the run where they were together. Captain America and Falcon. Here is a Captain America, not familiar with this artist, but this is issue 225. This is a John Byrne cover, 249. And I think we'll stop there and move on to, we'll pull these down and pull up another pile. Yes, this is another run that I'm not collecting that I'm collecting. Just everyone, it's like you have those things where you want to collect the comic, but it's so massive, it's such a big collection that you're just like, I can't do it this year. Can't do everything this year, right? I reached out to Dave about some Star Wars issues because he said, I've got them. Let me know what you need. And so I sent him the list. So hopefully we'll see what comes out of that. Here is Captain America issue 260. It's an Al Milgrom cover, but it's the coolest Al Milgrom cover of all time. I love that one. Very John Christopher Tyler. Like, that's the thing that John Christopher Tyler does, is this kind of, color bleed or negative space cover. Here we go, a Mike Zeck cover, 264, with the X-Men on it and Nazis. And then here is 274. And I think that actually said Captain America and the Falcon on it, didn't it? Right there. And the Falcon, yep. Here is 284. So I went up 10 issues per one. Another Mike Zeck cover. Fantastic Mike Zeck cover. Now here is Paul Neary doing his best impression of Mike Zeck. Or just by Paul Neary by himself, because Mike Zeck usually it was inked by Paul Neary. Or McLeod, either one of them, but Neary a lot, and that's Neary's cover, 298. And here's 330, another Mike Zeck cover, him against Demolition Man, which is pretty sweet. We're finally getting to the bottom of the list. Pile, man. All right, so I am doing a run of Wolverine, and that is also daunting, but I got a bunch of Wolverine stuff from a good friend of mine. And I'll probably put his face and name up here in this section to say what his name and face is, because I can't think of his name and face right now. Son of Crom. I got a box of Wolverine from Son of Crom, which helped me put together a chunk of the Wolverine run. Not the early stuff, more of the later stuff. In fact, I got 2 portions. I got like the volume 4 and 5 from Son of Crom, which is pretty cool. And then a bunch of the Wolverine origin stuff, which I'm not a big... I don't really know if I need that story to really enjoy Wolverine. Well, anyway, very cool. Jim Lee, Wolverine, issue number 24. Here's issue 59. That's the homage to Terminator. A Gambit cover, Adam Kubert, issue 87, which I think I may already have. Issue 98, Return to the Princess Bar. That's the bar in Madripoor, if you didn't know. The all-new, all-different Wolverine. This is with Wolverine with adamantiumless. Well, I think that issue is too. But kind of wild Wolverine, issue 101. Here is Lennon Francis Yu drawing Wolverine in issue 116. Oops. Got a little bit out of order here. Sorry about that. Here's 114. Adam Kubert. And Lady Deathstrike cover. And here is here's issue 115, another one of Lennon Francis Yu. This is where I fell in love with Lennon Francis Yu, man. This guy's art is fantastic. Let's get that on there. We can get that on there. And the very last book I got from Keys R Us is Old Man Logan #1. It's the Lemire issue. So this takes place after the 4-issue miniseries in Secret Wars. So that's this cover right here. I can't put it up here because it will not stay. All right, we'll grab all of those and we'll move on to our next one, which is going to be I think I'm going to save West Coast Avengers to last. So we're going to go ahead and go with my friend SJ Collectibles, and I'm going to work on not saying Anyway, I know it's crazy. So you can't see these because I haven't opened them yet, but I will open them. But this is the Sanford Green Doom poster, which I'm super excited to have that up on the wall, and then the Deadpool Wolverine poster, #1 poster, which I think goes back to the same Deadpool Wolverines that I was showing you just a bit ago that were the blanks that I'm going to work on. I'm probably going to do something with those just for the fun of it. As a part of that same day when I picked up those posters, I picked up some variant covers from him, and it's hard to decide which one's the best variant cover out of the pile. I think that's going to be it, so I'm going to make that the last issue I show. We got some Peach Momoko. Here is Storm #6, Scarlet Witch #10, NYX #9. That's part 2 of the Hunt for Xavier storyline, which it's interesting. They had a Hunt for Xavier storyline before, and now we're back to having a Hunt for Xavier storyline again, which I was about ready to start reading. I think it's Uncanny X-Men. The Uncanny X-Men issue. That's the next issue for me to read in my pile. A Jenny Friesen Poison Ivy. I think that's issue 31. Here is issue #1 of the... Well, it's kind of a limited trade dress Virgin variant. I want to say... I think I know what it is. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to find out. I mean, might as well, since we're all here and you're all just listening to me, and if you're watching this, thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, if you enjoy this content, please feel free to like, subscribe, and definitely comment, because, that's the way to go. I mean, if you comment, that helps the algorithm. If you like, that helps the algorithm. But really, commenting and subscribing are the 2 things that help me the most. which allows me to, eventually build this channel up to be able to maybe sell stuff here, or even not even just sell stuff, do giveaways and things like that. I don't want to do that without having, people coming into the thing. But I do live streams most of the time, and I'm doing, I also do lots of shorts. I mean, so if you're watching this and you're not a shorts watcher, I totally get that. And my shorts, to people who just want to see my shorts, I'm wearing shorts today too. It's interesting. I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, so this is a kind of a limited Virgin variant foil Secret 6 #1. This is a Nicoletta Balderi Spider Boy #17. I absolutely love Nicoletta Balderi. In fact, there's the Web of Spider-Verse New Blood. There's a really cool the Spider-Verse version of it that I totally am. I can't wait to get. I ordered it. I'm hoping it gets here sometime in the near future. Here is a Clayton Crane Doctor Strange of Asgard #1. Interesting idea. Here we go. He loses the Eye of Agamotto. He is no longer the Sorcerer Supreme again. I mean, it's like it keeps becoming not the Sorcerer Supreme. Maybe we should have made Wong the Sorcerer Supreme in the 616 universe. That might have been better off, because at least he wouldn't lose it all the time. And I'm being facetious. Especially with what's going on with the One World Under Doom within Marvel. I mean, that's an interesting storyline. I loved that. I mean, so here's a spoiler. If you haven't read Blood Hunt, that's kind of the outcome of Blood Hunt. Is Doom becomes Sorcerer Supreme, and then doesn't return it back to Doctor Strange. So that's how that works out. Now, this is a variant cover of the Web of Spider-Verse New Blood. It's a cool cover. We've got the Hulk Spider. We've got, I want to say that's Miles. I think it's just Miles as Miles, and it's Miles as Vampire Miles. And then there's a Vampire Peter that looks like in this too. Or that's a Vampire Peter's son. Because, we do get Son of Spider-Man in Ultimate Spider-Man, and he is playing a Spider-Man right now in Ultimate Spider-Man, which is pretty freaking cool. I mean, I love the characters in Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know if you guys if you're not reading Ultimate Spider-Man, that is the best comic right now. I mean, the Absolute stuff is awesome for DC, but Ultimate Spider-Man is the best comic out there to be reading. You should be reading that one. If there's any comic you should be reading, and you want a superhero comic, it's Ultimate Spider-Man. The trade, I think the first trade came out just this last week with issues 1 through 6 or 1 through 5. Pick that up, read it. If you need a run, let me know. I bet I can put one together. Just read it. It's so good. They keep reprinting #1 because it's so popular. That being said, also Transformers, the same thing. So this is cool because they did a version of this was on a Fantastic Four issue #1 for I think when they restarted the series after Secret Wars. I can't remember for sure. But this is a Alex Ross cover of the original Fantastic Four #1, him homaging it, and it's fantastic. And this is in color. This is the variant cover they did for the facsimile that came out. So this is a new cover facsimile variant. So this has all the original stuff in it from the original issue, like all the ads and all that stuff. And then it also has this Alex Ross cover, which is fantastic. So anyway, that's what I got from SJ Collectibles this week. And I know that's a lot of last week's comics, but that's okay. Because that's how it works. All right, so the next one, which is a small one as well, is the stuff I got from Gotham Thrifty, and I had their sticker somewhere, and it's gone. Not a big deal. Anyway, these are sweet. I mean, I'm I'm a sucker for variant covers. Everyone knows that. I did not pay $25 for this book, but the new Fantastic Four. This is issue 546. I think it's just Fantastic Four 546, but it's this beautiful sketch cover of and it was a Wizard World Philadelphia exclusive, and it's Michael Turner, but it's gorgeous. I mean, Michael Turner, the way he drew women and everything else, a lot of what people really go after when they look at it. But this is fantastic, and it is just gorgeous, and it's beautiful, and it's Black Panther and Silver Surfer, and his Silver Surfer on here it's to die for. It's very cool. J. Scott Campbell. This is what they would call a sketch cover as well. This is a Midtown Collectibles exclusive of the Superior Spider-Man cover, done by him in color, and that's pretty freaking amazing. And you kind of get the idea that it's a connecting cover, but it's not. I tried to see if these connected together, but they don't. Here is Amazing Spider-Man 1.1. This is also a Midtown exclusive. That one has Black Cat on it as the feminine person, and here it has Mary Jane on the cover. I believe this is the Dan Slott runs, but this is another great J. Scott Campbell cover. Here is a limited edition cover. I don't know the artist for this cover, and I probably should. I wonder if it's on the back. Let's look. Let's look and see. Nope. So this is an exclusive limited edition comics with an X. It's funny. If I were gonna, at one point in time, I wanted to have a comic book store of my own, and I was gonna do coffee and comics, and it was gonna be KOFFEE, and with the and symbol, or ampersand symbol, or whatever it is, and then comics, and it was going to be KOMIX. And it was going to have a reading room where you could sit down and read. If you didn't have the money to buy all the comics, but you wanted to buy certain comics and you wanted to read everything else, there was going to be a reading room. And I wanted to do a reading room because I thought that would be a really cool thing, because it's kind of a Northwest thing. If you look at, you've got Powell Books, they have a reading room. There were a couple other bookstores that have reading rooms too that were kind of like that. Well, anyway, this is a beautiful Psylocke, I think it's Quainon, but it's from the X-Men run where it's all the women were the X-Men team, and one of my favorite teams of all time. I love that team, and because Storm was the leader, and she put together all these gals. It had Rogue, it just had a bunch of really powerhouse, and they did all kinds of really awesome things. Monet St. Croix was a part of the team, and you get to see her power set in its full form, which was pretty cool. Well, and then the final book I got from them was this Batman 184. For 13 jittery nights, the bat signal blazed in the sky. For 13 desperate days, the hotline remained unanswered. Where are Batman and Robin? Not even they know. Ba, ba, ba. So, as I said, I'm collecting but not collecting a Batman run. And so this Batman issue is now, I think, the oldest Batman issue I have. It's 184. I could go look and check, but I think that's my oldest Batman issue so far. But it's pretty sweet. It's pretty freaking cool. I love it. And I got it for really great price, so that was fantastic. So that's cool. Finally, let's move on to West Coast Avengers. And this one was a great show. He was doing a sale, and his sale was to clear out stuff. So everything was everything was 30% off, and he was doing 20% off of slabs, and he was doing $5 rounds and $10 rounds as well as, and so I just happened to have some bonus money that I allowed myself to spend towards some stuff that was cool, I thought, and some things that I wanted to get. So here we go. And this first thing is a comic plus game thing for Pokemon. I picked this up for my youngest daughter. She's really into Pokemon, and she's really into anime stuff. And I thought she would totally dig this. So this is Pokemon Black and White. I know this is one of the favorite games that she played a few years back, and I thought that was cool. This is a Whitman Starstream, Adventures in Science Fiction. Has 3 stories in it. It's just really interesting. And I got it for a song and a dance, and I just had to pick it up because it was so cool. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so that's one of the things. Also love Daniel Warren Johnson, and here is Do a Powerbomb. This is a virgin variant of that cover. Gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Look at how the light's shining off of that. I mean, it's not a foil, but man, pop, 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 right? Here is our favorite friend, Escape from New York, Snake Plissken. I don't know the artist on this one, but man, this is cool. And I love how the city is the jaw and mouth inside the skull that is surrounding him. That whole negative space skull thing there. I mean, look at that. Look at that red, too. That red just pops. It's cool. Very cool. Now, as I said, I told West Coast Avengers I was collecting Star Wars. And this is the reason why I told him that, is that he had issue 99. And I was able to pick up issue 99 for my run. So that means I only have 24 more issues, I think, 24 more issues to get to have a complete run of the original Star Wars from Marvel. And then, you know, being a Wolverine fan and a Mike Mignola and Walter Simonson fan, I had to pick up that, the Wolverine, the Jungle Adventure. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that pile down because I don't think I can fit anything else on the other shelf there. I'll stack these guys here because this pile's getting precarious here next to me. Now, it's so funny. This is a Walter Simonson, Louise Simonson book, and this would be what Brian would call a Travis book. And if you know, I'm Travis with Comics Limited, right? So that's me. But it's so funny because this goes back to high school. I really loved watercolor, and so this book really jumps out at me. It's John Muth and Kent Williams watercolor. This is it was a 4-part series. But this is just issues 1 and 2. But this is I mimicked drawing Wolverine like this when I was in high school because of this cover right here. And there's issue 2 with the hair kind of going like bunny rabbit ears that are just kind of floppy. It's funny anyway. So, but Brian would call this a Travis book. So I still need to get issue 3 and 4, but you know that can come down the line. Havoc and Wolverine, that was a cool thing. The next thing I got was another issue of the Demon. This is Demon issue number 5, so I'm slowly collecting this run from my Kirby collection. And then there was this, he had, I think this was in a $5 round, this Batman, the Chalice. And so I picked that up. Chuck Dixon and John Van Fleet. Batman. It's Batman. I have a lot of Batman traits, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to grab this stuff and take it down off of there. Move on to the next stuff. All right, so this next chunk is all Batman. And I'm going to go ahead and do this stuff first, and then we'll do the next stuff. So here we go. We got a Batman number 249. I think this is it looks almost like Klaus Janson, but I'm not sure. Maybe Neil Adams. No, I don't know. It's that Batman face. Look at that. I mean, look at that. It looks like Klaus Janson. Just the way the art is, that looks like his stuff. That looks like Klaus Janson, but it could be Neil Adams. And then I also picked up this was a fantastic price. I mean, they're all in very fine condition, but this, it's one of the best Batman stories of all time. Batman Year One. Issue 1, Issue 2, Issue 3 in a newsstand, and Issue 4. The whole run of Batman Year 1. And so that's pretty cool. David Musicelli, Frank Miller. It's like Daredevil translates over to Batman. Anyway, so there we go. Those were those books I picked up. Next chunk of Batman. Now these are more modern, of course. You know, Scott Snyder, Court of Owls issue number 4. Oh, I love this Greg Capullo cover. Issue number 12. Although Becky Cloonan did the art on the inside of this one, not Capullo, but Capullo did this cover. That's an awesome cover. This cover is so awesome too. This is the Year Zero, the all black cover, kind of the beginning of that whole run. It's issue 25. I don't know if that's not going to focus. Let's see. Can we make it focus? The way the light's reflecting off of it. There we go. Yay! We got it to focus. But that's so cool. You can't see the Batman stuff in there, and it's so awesome. Here is issue 33. This is the Hitch variant of that Batman. That's the that Snyder Capullo run. Here is issue 36, that Endgame. This is the regular cover of Endgame number 2. And then, you know, we jump up to the future, go past this, into the Tom King run. This is the Batman Selina Kyle marriage issue 50 of the Tom King run. But that's a Jim Lee cover of Catwoman and Batman, which is pretty freaking cool. But that's not the last thing I got there. So the final thing I picked up, or the final thing that came today of that, what from Dave, was this. I don't know if this is going to show up. It's going to show up the whole thing. Oh, it's not. We'll slide ourselves back. Yep, Wolverine number 1, 9.6. I don't have Wolverine number 1. I thought I did, but I don't. I picked up a Wolverine number 2 recently at the comic shop, but I didn't have a Wolverine number 1. So here we go. This is my Wolverine number 1. It's a 9.6. I would like to have it raw. So I might even be willing to trade or sell and get this in a raw form from someone. I got it at such a great price though. So anyway, I just wanted to, that's that stuff. And then the pickups that I got from the Rippaverse this week were these. So let's share that, and then we will call this done, and then I will edit it and bring it up and put it up there for everyone to see. So then for this, I got the Ripazine number 1, which, you know, it's cool. I like it. I'm not digging on the paper on the inside. It kind of it's a little rough. It's not like a magazine. It's a little heavy, which that's okay. But I think it's really too easy to damage, and I wouldn't if I were to make this book, I wouldn't make it like this. I'd make it more like this. This issue 2. Issue 2, the paper is much different on issue 2. I like it a lot better. The cover's still a hard cardstock, but the inside is more like comic book paper, like you'd see in a regular comic book, or like you'd see in their trades. I also got this guy right here, the Horseman number 1, and to finish it all off, Blood Ruth, which is the new trade that came out from the Suska sisters. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on that. And, you know, I'm interested to see where these go. I've been pleasantly surprised by the stories. I've had some disappointments. I wasn't a big fan of the the third trade that came out, the one that Chuck Dixon wrote. I thought it was a good story. I didn't like the fact that we had multiple inkers because it made the art style change too many times, and it didn't look right. Now, if it were like individual issues and they put those issues out separately with different inkers and colors and things like that, that would have been cool. That wouldn't have been a big deal. Then I could say, "Ooh, I really like this issue and I don't like this issue." But it's one big book, it makes it hard to follow when you have the art style change so drastically between inkers. And I think that has to do more so with experience in inking rather than anything else. And I'm not by any means the most experienced inker. In fact, I would say that I'm the least experienced inker. And I wouldn't say that I would be complaining about the work. I think the work was the story was good, and I had to take it for what it was because the characters are not necessarily the nicest people. And so you have these characters who are not the nicest people who are you're going on with this, and we just lost connection to the stream screen, so it's just us now. So all right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and end this, but so thank you for watching. If you're watching, please like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, tell me you don't like this type of thing, or tell me you do. Tell me you want more of this kind of content. And we'll see where we go from here. It was great talking with you all. Have a fantastic day, and share your love of comics with everyone you meet. As Bigby McFly always says, you'll never know where it will take you. You'll never know what friendships will pop up. You'll never know the people you might meet. Thank you so much. Have a great day.